Two senior groups walked up the same gangway, onto the same ship on the same Saturday. Same deck, same ocean view cabins, same dinner seating, same everything. And one of those groups paid hundreds of dollars more per person than the other for an identical trip, and not a single one of them ever found out. They came home with the same photos and the same sunburn and a much lighter bank account, and they will do it again next year because nobody ever showed them the receipt. Today, I'm showing you the receipt. Welcome to Black and Boarding. The brochures sell you the sunset and the buffet. We tell you what the sales desk says after they hang up the phone. And for this one, I talked to somebody who used to sit at that desk, a former cruise group sales coordinator, the person whose actual job was building the quotes that go out to senior clubs, church groups, sorority chapters, and community travel committees. And what that person described is not a conspiracy with a name on a door. It is something quieter and honestly more dangerous, a pricing machine that is built to land hardest on exactly the groups that trust it the most. And in this country, some of the most loyal, most organized, most trusting senior travel groups are Black church groups, Black sorority and fraternity alumni chapters, and Black community senior clubs. The machine does not need to hate you to overcharge you. It just needs you to do what good, faithful, organized groups naturally do. Book early, book together. Stay loyal, trust the organizer, and never compare. Let us walk the receipt, line by line. Line 1 on the receipt. The group rate that is not actually a discount. Here is the first thing the desk knows that you do not. When your travel committee calls and says we are a group of 40, can we get the group rate? The word group does not automatically mean cheaper. A cruise group rate is a contract, a block of cabins held for your party, and it comes with perks like a deposit grace period and the ability to add names later. Those are real conveniences. But the per-person fare inside that group block is very often not the lowest fare that ship is selling that week. The individual sale price, the one a stranger booking alone off the website catches during a flash promotion, can come in lower than the rate your 40 loyal members locked months ago. The insider was blunt about it. Groups pay for the convenience of being a group, and most committees never check the solo price against their group price even once. That gap, right there, is the first charge on your receipt, and it is invisible unless you look. Line 2, the tour conductor credit, the one nobody explains to the people paying for it. This is the big one, so listen close. In the cruise world, there is a standard practice called the tour conductor credit, sometimes called the tour leader berth. The way it works is simple. For roughly every 8 to 15 full fare passengers a group books, the cruise line gives one free or deeply reduced berth back to the group. One free spot for the organizer. Now, that is not automatically a bad thing. A volunteer who spends 3 months herding 40 seniors through paperwork deserves to travel. But here is what the insider wanted seniors to understand. That free berth is not charity from the cruise line. The cost of it is very often quietly spread across everybody else's fare. So the organizer rides free, and the 40 members each pay a little extra to fund it, and almost none of them were ever told that is what the line item is. When the organizer is honest, and the group agreed to it out loud, that is fine, that is a fair trade. But when nobody says it plainly, you have a busload of seniors each paying a slice of a free vacation they did not know they were buying. That is line 2, and it is the one that makes people the angriest when they finally see it. Line 3, the middleman markup. A lot of affinity groups do not book directly with the cruise line at all. They book through a trusted person, a member who organizes trips every year, or a small travel agency the church has used forever. And again, loyalty is beautiful, and a good organizer is worth their weight in gold. But some organizers and some agencies add their own markup on top of the cruise fare, a planning fee, a coordination fee, a per-person handling charge, and it gets folded into one round number per person, so it never itemizes. The insider put it plainly. When a quote comes back as one clean number per person with no breakdown, that clean number is exactly where markup hides. A real quote has parts: cruise fare, taxes, port fees, gratuities. If your group is handed a single price with no parts, that is line 3 on the receipt, and you are allowed to ask what is inside it. Line 4, dynamic pricing, the part the machine does on its own. Cruise fares are not fixed. They move, sometimes daily, based on how full the ship is, how close the sail date is, and how the system reads demand. That means the same cabin genuinely sells for different prices to different people at different moments. Now here is where the research gets uncomfortable, and I'm going to say this carefully and honestly. Consumer advocates and academic researchers have spent years documenting that automated dynamic pricing systems across travel and retail can produce outcomes that fall unevenly along racial and neighborhood lines, even when no human ever typed a discriminatory rule, because the data the machine learns from carries the bias of the world that made it. Nobody at the desk has to be a villain. The system can disadvantage you all by itself. So when your group books early and loyal and never rechecks, you are trusting a price engine that was never designed to look out for you. That is line 4, and it is the quietest charge of all. Line 5, the deposit lock-in. Senior groups are responsible. They plan ahead. They put the deposit down 9, 10, 11 months out, because that is what organized, faithful people do. But here is the trap inside that virtue. Once your deposit is in and your fare is set, the cruise line does not call you when the price drops. If that cabin goes on sale 3 months later for less, the line keeps the difference and says nothing, unless somebody in your group knows to call and ask for the lower rate before the final payment date. The insider said most groups never ask because they assume the price they locked is the price, period. It is not. On many bookings, before that final payment deadline, you can request the current lower fare or an upgrade or onboard credit to match it. The early, loyal, trusting groups are precisely the ones who leave that money sitting on the table. Line 5. Line 6. The ADD on stack. Watch how the extras pile up. Travel insurance sold through the group at a marked up rate when a senior could often buy comparable coverage cheaper on their own. Prepaid gratuities bundled in at the highest tier. Drink packages, excursion packages, transfer packages, all sold to the group as a convenience, all carrying a margin, all easier to say yes to when 40 of your friends already said yes. None of these are scams by themselves. Together, stacked, unexamined, they can add a few $100s a head that nobody decided to spend on purpose. The insider called this the death by yes. Every yes is small. The receipt at the bottom is not. Line 6. Line 7. The single supplement and how it hits your widows hardest. This one I need you to hear because it lands on the most vulnerable members of every senior group. Cruise fares are advertised per person based on 2 people sharing a cabin. A member traveling alone, very often a widow or a widower, gets charged a single supplement, an extra fee that can run from a modest amount to nearly the price of a second full fare, just for the crime of sleeping in the cabin alone. In a senior group, the people paying that penalty are usually the ones who lost a spouse. And most groups never push back on it, never ask the desk to waive or reduce it, never request a roommate match or a guaranteed share rate that some sailings offer. So the grieving pay the most. That is line 7, and it is the one that should make your committee fight the hardest. So add it up. The group rate that was not the lowest rate, the free berth your members funded without knowing, the middleman markup hiding inside a round number, the dynamic price that moved without telling you, the deposit lock that kept the savings when the fare dropped, the stack of marked up add-ons, and the single supplement crushing your widows. None of those requires a single person to be cruel. Put them all on one receipt, aimed at a group that books early, books together, trusts the organizer, and never compares, and you get exactly what we started with. 2 groups, 1 ship, 1 paying hundreds more, and nobody the wiser. Now you are the wiser. So let us turn the receipt into a weapon. Here are the 7 questions that get your group the true price, and I want your travel committee to write these down. Question 1. What is the current individual fare for this exact cabin today on the website? Check the solo price against your group price before you sign anything. If the solo price is lower, you say so out loud to the desk. Question 2. Is there a tour conductor credit on this booking? Who is receiving it? And is its cost being spread across our members? You have an absolute right to know whether you are funding a free berth and to decide as a group whether that is fair. Question 3. Can I see this quote itemized? Cruise fare, taxes, port fees, gratuities, and any agency or planning fee listed separately. If anyone refuses to break the number into parts, that refusal is your answer, and you walk. Question 4. Will you monitor this fare and match it if the price drops before final payment? Put it in writing. Then have the one sharp member of your group check that fare every few weeks and call the moment it falls. Question 5. What is the single supplement, and can it be waived, reduced, or replaced with a guaranteed share rate or a roommate match? Fight this one for your solo travelers every single time. Question 6. Are these add-ons, the insurance, the gratuities, the packages, required or optional? Strip every optional yes back to a deliberate choice, made by each member, not bundled by default. And question 7, the most powerful one. Can we get this same sailing quoted 3 ways? Direct with the cruise line, through one outside agency, and as individuals booking solo. 3 quotes, side by side. The truth lives in the gap between them, and the gap is your money. Here is the bottom line, and I am going to say it the way somebody should have said it to your group years ago. The overcharge is not always a person looking you in the eye and deciding to take more from you. Sometimes it is worse than that. Sometimes it is a quiet machine and a stack of small conveniences and a lifetime of being taught to trust the brochure, all working together on people who did everything right. You booked early, you traveled together, you stayed loyal, you trusted the organizer, and the system reads every one of those good and faithful habits as permission to charge you more. The answer is not to stop traveling. The answer is to walk up to that desk knowing exactly what is on the receipt, with your 7 questions in hand, and to make them earn your group's money for once instead of assuming it. The most expensive words in travel are, "We have always done it this way." The cheapest words are, "Can I see that itemized?" If this opened your eyes, do your whole senior group a favor and send them this video before they book one more trip. And subscribe to Black and Boarding, because this channel exists to put the receipt in your hands before you pay, not after. In the next one, I am breaking down the exact travel agencies and booking moves that consistently get Black senior groups the lowest real fare on the same sailings, the insider list, ranked. Bring your committee. I will see you on board. Black and Boarding, signing off.